So someone suggested that I did a track breakdown on the Loretta Lynns track for this year, so I thought I might as well do it. And the first thing I noticed about the track, it is a lot of just really rough sections with just a whole straight of bumps. So that's kind of what I'm going to focus on in this video. So the important thing when you have like these kinds of sections where you have just a long section of just bumps is that we have the front end light to get over the bumps, because when the front end goes down in between the bumps, that's when the bike's starting to go all over the place. So you can see I'm staying light on the front end and keeping the front end on top of the bumps. So as you can see, I'm landing with the front wheel on top of the bumps, and if we go to the next, I'm keeping the front end on top of the bumps. You can't really brake in these kinds of sections, because when you're braking, the wheels are going to go down in between the bumps. Your suspension is going to compress and your suspension is gonna work worse when you're braking. The thing we want to do is we kind of just let off the throttle and we don't really brake. See, I'm just kind of letting off the throttle and letting the bike slow down by itself. When you're hitting the bumps, the bike kind of slows down by itself as well. So in first person, it kind of looks like this with the controller cam. Just keep the bike light, a little bit of throttle, kind of slowing down naturally by just letting off the throttle. And when you come to sand corners like this, we don't want to sit down and turn because there's a lot of bumps, so we want to be able to move around and keep the front wheel above the bumps. So as we can see here, going from the first bump, I'm keeping my front end high to get the front end over this next bump, just to keep the speed and don't have our bike go sideways, because it will be slower if we go down in between these bumps. So the way we have our front wheel over the bumps is we work a lot with our forward and backwards leaning, because we actually need to lean forward to get over the bumps. So lean back, when we're about to leave the bump, we lean forward to get the front end up. It might sound really weird, but it works. Before some corners, we can also jump over the bumps. So you can see in this corner, if we move a little bit forward, you can see I'm jumping over this first bump, and then I'm jumping from the first bump over here, and I'm jumping all the way into the corner. You can see I'm landing a little bit before, because I went a little bit too slow, but ideal thing is we jump from the first one, land all the way into the corner. And before some corners, it's better to go a little bit slower and maybe jump the bumps to keep the flow going and just keep the track smooth. So right there we can jump here, go slow, and then jump into the corner. So this is a perfect example where we slow down right here just to get our bike settled in between these two bumps. And then what we do is we just jump into the corner. In slow motion, we jump here, we land here, we keep our momentum, we keep our flow, we jump into the corner, and it's just very smooth, very flowy, and you carry your speed. Feels really nice to do. Now, I did not race Loretta's just because like it was just too late for me, so I don't know like the racing lines. This is like the lines that I thought were interesting. If you have suggestions for more tracks or different kinds of videos, let me know, and I'll just put a little bit of gameplay at the end with the controller cam.